in those areas, that can be good way to bring internet access to the youths. The other challenge is lack of skills. Uko interested na kufanya ICT, but you don't have the right people to guide you or to give you the right skills. So hiyo ina affect sana the ICT development in Kenya, which I think is a challenge in affect all the aspects. The next question was on the opportunities of that you get from learning ICT. Things like being a security firm. Unaweza pata that the youth, when you are interested in ICT, they will get the higher chances ya kuemployiwa in such firms. You can even develop your own website and start selling products from there. Yani ina create, like if you do agriculture and then you start a website selling groceries and such, it will be able to help you to market yourself. And these are now the results of having the ICT skills hata kama unafanya any other thing. Let's go to SACCOs and savings. Youths, we normally don't embrace savings. Why? Because tunasema hatuna pesa, unalipa maybe pesa kidogo, hauna job, hawezi save. But from what we have discussed, tumekuja kuona that the mind of saving itakuja kusaidia because it will help you invest in future. So forming circles, forming youth groups that can be able to access funding from the government, the affirmative funds, and all the like. With a group, you'll be able to do more than when you're an individual. So that's why we are encouraging formation of groups to be able to come up with ideas that will help solve the unemployment issue that we have in Kenya. Those are the kind of solution that we recommended for the development. Attitude. What attitude do you have towards coming up with ideas to do with the unemployment? Youths, tunaogopa sana kurisk. We fear risking. So if you can be able to have a mindset of trying and kuna kuogopa risk or fearing change, then we can be able to come up with ideas that will help solve the unemployment issue. The other thing is the government to do such forums. Kikao, forums zingine zenye youth wa Embu County can be able to present their challenges. Okay, naambiwa time imeisha. I think I've tackled all the issues. So thank you for listening.
Pigieni hiyo kijana makofi tafadhali. Wow. Wow. Inaitwa Kikao. So we are having a conversation now. The distinguished guest now at this juncture, I want to welcome one of the best theater and film production team we have in Embu County. Wanaitwa the Mount Kenya Theatrics. So Mount Kenya Theatrics now, hii uwanja ni yenu kwa sasa. You come and give us an entertainment piece. Karibuni sana. Wapigieni makofi wanapoingia tafadhali.
Nyamaza. Nilikutoa Geshagi kwa shule ukipata D-, nikakusaidia, nikakuosha. Wewe. Nimekuambia hivi. Fanya hivi. Nguo zangu uoshe. Nguo zako upack urudi nyumbani. Unasikia? Nimesema nini? Nguo zako? Zangu nikufulie. Sawa, nimeenda busy. Sawa? Lakini nini nyanya yako? Wewe. Huku nisikupate, kazi ni kunona. Mimi ni kukonda. Nilikuwa karibu kukaua. Hiyo ni mzere. Acha nikwambie, huko kazi ni kukula, akanisaidia, nilikatoa akalipata D-. Nikakareta at least nikalishe kapate sura. Kamepata sura, kameanza malingo. Wacha sura. Kamepata sura, umepata nini? Nitakaua. Kaue. Fanyaje? Endo kaue. Ukazike. Kule. Sawa. Fanya aje? Tucheze game. Nikishinda, nikaue na kunyonga. Ukinishinda, nikikushinda nikachukue nikaoa. Na kama. I'm trying to get rid of your problem. Ukinishinda, nikaue na kukapea rat. Nikikushinda, nikachukue. Alafu, sasa kwa sababu at the end of the day katakufa. Si tu practice wimbo ya mazishi. Tutadance hivi. Wacha nikuonyeshe vile tutadance. Sukari. Ndio mayuth. Sukari. Nini nimekuleta hapa? Tulikwambia aje? Ni bronches bwana. Wewe ni bronches ama wewe ni mwanamke? Tulikuambia mahali wa wanaume wako usikuje kazi ni kupigwa na bibi yako. Mwanaume ina gani wewe? Mwanaume hafai kupigwa. Unapigwa aje? Wewe unaweza pigwa? Unapigwa na bibi? Unapigwa aje? Unajua ni I'm a good husband. Kwanza wewe ni mwanaume. Ama ni mtoto hebu. Hiyo si kilo ya mwanaume. I'm keeping fit. Yani wewe bibi ni wewe ni. Kazi ni kutafuta nikimletea alafu ana home. Toka. Alafu ile pesa yangu. The government should tukufinya.
Nini, what's wrong? Mbona unalia? Tulia. What's wrong? Tulia. For heaven's sake, what's funny? Mama. What's wrong? Tulia.
Okay, ropopo. Udaku.
Yaani wewe, wenzako wanatengeneza pesa na udaku TikTok na Instagram. Wewe ni udaku tu hapo hizo talipo.
Unajua, nimekupa risto, unajua?
Shout.
Okay. Unaona demu yako hata kujua. Wewe uko hapo una celebrate. Unatini. Unasema pia mada hiti.
Nitakuoa basi.
Mimi.
Oh, wewe hata wewe.
Wazariwe tunapiga.
Jiguna. Tuwe tukamalizie kwa
Hivi ndivyo Mungu anajibuki maombi yako na one touch.
Jiguna.
Bado.
Usi kwanza. Najua lazima tujue vile tutachangisha
Pesa ya mazishi.
Haya, mimi natengeneza group ya WhatsApp. Namba ni yangu.
Haya, tufanye aje?
Mimi ndio chairman wa committee.
Kama kawaida game lazima tujue. Ukishinda pesa ni wewe inaingia kwako.
Kuja. Wewe tuulize.
Haya.
Wewe tuulize director kama nani achukue pesa?
Hapa lazima tujue kieleweke.
Kanali. Nani achukue pesa? Wewe.
Wewe. Umenibia, cheza game.
Kala. Kanali, nani achukue pesa?
Haya, umeniibia. Wacha. Unadhani wewe ni mjanja. Mliko umepanga na yeye. Achukue ama nichukue? Yes!
Unajua haya ni moja. Unajua haya ni moja. Ya kutoka Embu.
Sawa. Naomba msamaha.
Sawa. Nimeacha.
Hello. In your office ya social matters.
Yes, nenyewe.
Okay, I'm calling from tuko huku kunaitwa Kariare. Kuna demu yangu anapitia, kuna besti yangu anapitia gender violence. Ako underage. Akimnaweza kuja.
Underage? Wapi?
Kariare.
Okay, give me 5 minutes. I shall be there.
Haya, rakisheni.
Okay.
Twende.
Unaomboleza?
Watu wa gender violence wanakuja.
Wewe unaongea kama nani kwa hii nyumba?
Wewe nyamaza.
Ni wewe.
Nyamaza. Watu wa gender violence wanakuja hapa na wanakuja hadi na polisi.
Gender violence gani? Kwa nini wanatishia nini? Wakuja wapi? We. Kwa nini unaogopa gender violence? Watakuja waende. Polisi. Haya, bro. Wewe umeisha wewe. Wewe unafungwa. Unajua huyu atafikisha 15 years in prison minimum. Wewe hata wewe ni rape, kidnapping, abduction without information. Nani? Wewe unafungwa. Wewe.
Si tulikuwa nikuchangishie pesa?
Wewe hata ukiapili nakwambia wewe CJ anakungojea. Huyu apili mimi nimeenda. Mimi nilikuwa naye.
Baby.
Tutoke.
Rudi. Ni huyu. Hata sijui.
We.
Msichana. Ni wewe unashikwa cha lazima? Wamefanya nini? Uko na miaka ngapi?
Wanamshika cha lazima. Wanamrisha cha lazima, wanakuwa cha lazima, kila kitu cha lazima. Yaani cha lazima hata rent alipa cha lazima.
15. Yaani kijana wewe mzima hivi.
Wewe ngoja.
Ni shetani.
Do you know the government spokesman is my uncle.
Nyamaza. Acha kelele mingi. Wewe hata kama ni andiko hata kama ni nyanya yako hataki kujua. Unataka kuvunja serikali kazi?
Oi.
Nyamaza. Unataka kuvunja serikali kazi ndio? Wewe unajua wewe hata ukiweza choma makao huwezi toka kazuku moja na unaongea hapa.
Apande. Hey. Unajua chai inafanyanga kazi.
Unataka kupea serikali hongo
Kunywa chai apande.
Unataka kupiga serikali hongo, si ndio? Haya, peleka. Apande. Shika huyu na ushike huyu mwingine.
Hawa beba wawili. Hao.
Ni sawa. Director General wa NS. Huyu apatia unga huyu.
Haya. Tafadhali, hebu waambie, ueleze tafadhali,
Okay. Kosa la kwanza.
Number what?
Number one.
Yeah. Chongwa.
Yeah. Kuna msichana ambaye hajahitimu 18.
Exactly.
Hiyo ni yake, sio mimi.
Wewe.
Me am an accessory.
Kosa la pili ni kumlazimisha anywe pombe.
Yes. Forcing to take drugs. To drink.
Yeah.
Kosa la tatu, kuweka msichana ambaye hatafikisha 18 years. She should be in school.
Exactly. Wewe unapiga magoti mtu omba. Amuka. Wewe hata una haya.
Sasa mimi sijasikia makosa yangu, sinaweza na nyumbani.
Wewe uko na makosa. Why are you unamwelezea?
Anamsaidia. Yeye ndiye anavichanga. Huyu. Yes.
I am the advisor.
Sasa what social services? Twende.
Amka kwa social services.
Baby, tunaweza ongea. Baby, si nilikuwa nikupelekee kwa shosho kitu gani? Kweli. I'm not body. Kweli baby. Twende. Anakula sana, ni mzito sana Pole, usilie tena. Next time ukilia unipigie simu.
Usilie.
Usilie sana. Wapigieni makofi tafadhali. Wow. Kwa skiti yenye information. Wale ambao walifanya theater arts mahali hiyo ilikuwa na maneno mengi sana. We recognize the presence of the government spokesman. We also recognize the presence of representative wa DG wa NYS na pia the FGM CEO. We recognize the presence. Karibuni sana. Feel at home hapa Embu. Tunasemanga the land of opportunities. Now DJ, nataka unipeka wimbo kidogo. Now the panelists get to settle and the panelists ni Madam Jane tafadhali.
Let's have the panelists.
Youth Fund.
GAF, Uwezo Fund, NYC, NYS, all the stakeholders. Please let's come and take these seats. We are now getting into our panel discussions.
Yes, NYS, GAV,
NTSA, Kenya Film Commission.
See, panel for the panelists section. So there's this song. Is this song everybody knows, lakini hatujuangi mwenye anasemanga huko mwisho. DJ, twende. Hiyo tunajuanga amen peke yake. Haya, kila mtu alipe makofi. Our guests kutoka Mukuje, kumekuwa na baridi sana na walikuwa kidogo tusimame tu kidogo au kawimbo tuende venye nitawaonesha. Huku kuna baridi Madam CS, lakini usijali. Our DCC yako hapa. By the way, Embu, we have one of the most accessible DCC. Anaitwa Madam Karo Imaya. DJ twende. Twende hivi sasa. Twende hivi. Wakuje hapa mbele. DJ shikilia. Naambiwa huko nyuma muonekane na cameras, mkuje hapa mbele kidogo tafadhali. Vijana tuamke. Mmekaa chini, wazito wamesimama. Haya. Mabazu. So mnanifuata sasa kenye nilikuwa nafanya. DJ. Everything
You never open doors. You said go here. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go. He don't do go open doors. Go. You said go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Every hustler getting good. Your own in nothing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you believe it, say amen. If you believe it, say amen. If you believe it, say amen. Everything you put your hand go. You make an open doors. You said go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go. Wapi kelele ya matamshi? You said hapo sawa video. Atuoneshe twende madam. Somewhere one man sees. Until where they find the key. One day you go come feast.
Nimejaribu kidogo nika exchange miguu, nikaona wa government spokesman akienda kuanguka, nikaona sitaki kufungwa. Asante sana Madam Jane. Now the floor is yours. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much. Representative of county governments, if you're there and you're a stakeholder, please let us have you here.
The county government of Embu tafadhali.
What we are going to do as the stakeholders, we're going to introduce yourselves, introduce your organization, and what you do. Give out the programs that you run, and try to address some of the issues that the young people have raised. Try to address some of the issues that the young people have addressed. Alafu vijana mpo. Vijana mpo. Haya, pia msikize. Kuna mtu hapa amelipwa Kuna mtu amelipwa kunifungia microphone. Vijana mpo. Okay. Vijana hai. Hii kikao ni yenu, si ndio? Hawa ni mabazuu wamekuja kuwapatia information ya zile programs ambazo tuko nazo kwa gava. Tumesema gava iko ground, na hawa wana represent different ministries, agencies, na kwa NGO na private sector. Natumai ulibeba kitabu yako, ukisikia you have a question you'd want to ask, tutakupatia hiyo session ya Q&A. Representative hapa wa Horn of Africa. Horn of Africa? Okay, let's start here.
Good morning. My name is Martin Moredi, representing the National Council for Persons with Disabilities in Embu County. And various the state agency is intended to register persons with disabilities. Then the various programs that we have is we give grants to groups of persons with disabilities. We also issue activities to persons with disabilities. Then we have the cash transfer for persons with severe disabilities. Then we have the albinism program. That is where we give persons with albinism sunscreen lotions and protective clothing. And we also have another that is tools of trade. That is where we target youth who have undergone various trainings, who have disabilities. Tools of trend. And the programs that we have that target the youth, we have for the tools of trend. Then we have education assistant, that is where we give bursaries. That's for special secondary schools, universities, and technical institutions. Then we also have financing for youth. Tenders, that is through the AGPO. Although, as we all know, we have the challenges of government. So in short, those major programs that
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chisano Joachim, coming from Kenya Film Commission. Ours, basically, I can say all our programs are youth-driven. I've had one of the youth representatives here from Embu participated in one of our programs. So basically, Kenya Film Commission is a government agency under Ministry of ICT, Innovation and Youth Affairs. Our core mandate is marketing, developing and promoting the Kenyan film industry. So our programs, the main one being capacity building programs, where we have things like the Kalasha Writers Hub, capacity building in terms of school outreach. We also have film empowerment programs, where we give grants to filmmakers, basically funding to promote development, marketing, and festivals. We also have My Kenya, My Story. It's basically a mobile phone film competition. So I'm looking forward to interacting with you. If you have any question relating to film production, capacity building, trainings, and how you can benefit on these things, I look forward to an interactive session with you. Thank you.
All protocols observed. Good afternoon, everybody. My youth oye. My youth oye. My name is Doris Sabaya, representing National Transport and Safety Authority. NTSA is a state corporation under the Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government, formed all the way back in 2012. And the goal generally was to harmonize operations of key transport sector and subsectors to minimize loss of lives and manage the road transport subsector. Currently, we are collaborating with NYS with border border training, and we know a big number of border border fall in the age group of the youth. So the pilot program started, and so far we have registered about 9,000 border borders who have been trained with the NYS, and we're registering border border in all counties. And therefore, those of you who have friends who are in border border, and particularly here in Embu County, I know that is a program we already started. And furthermore, of course, we have the internship programs, which we give 5% of our staff establishment, and of course, the reserve of 30% of AGPO. I look forward to interacting with you further. We will have a desk where if you have any questions regarding, I know most of you, it's issues of the Smart DL and the new curriculum. So I'm looking forward to interacting with you further as the program progresses. Asanteni.
Good afternoon, everyone. Youth, hoye! Okay, all protocols observed. My name is Vincent Makori. I work for Postbank. And just briefly about Postbank. We are a financial institution which operates under the rules of Kenya Cap 493B. And our main role basically is to encourage savings, and that's what we were created to do, so that we can be able to encourage Kenyans, so that we can be able to save, And part of the funds that we get, we invest in what is low risk-free instruments, which are basically treasury bills. And in that way, those funds help the government in this development agenda. We are basically covered all over Kenya. We have 97 branches in 43 counties. And we also serve our customers through various outlets, mainly the mashinani agents. We have over 600 agents distributed in the country. When you come to Embu, we also have our own branch, which basically serves this area. When you look at some of the activities that we do that are targeting the youth, one of them is we've been able to partner with various institutions where we are carrying out financial literacy activities. And one of them is paying stipends for the NYS recruits and even graduates when they come out. We've been able to undertake that very well, effectively, and we are able to see the benefits out of that. Then the other thing that we do is we work also with the universities, especially the disbursement of the Higher Education Loans Board programs. And in the process, we also carry out their financial literacy programs. When it comes to the State Department of Youth Affairs, we've been able to sign an MOU with the department in February this year. And that's the more reason why we are here, because this is basically the department which gives us access also to reach this youth so that we can be able to impart the financial literacy skills, which are very key to all of us. And that's why we are here, and we have also been in part of the other past activities that we've worked with them. Then, so basically out of all these things is that us, our role is to encourage you to save, and all the monies that you put in Post Bank, they don't attract any interest at all. And that is a benefit which is conferred on us as covered in the Income Tax Act. So whatever you bring, ile pesa unaleta at an interest unapewa, as our gross interest is the same as net interest. Coming to some of the challenges that I know which being discussed mainly in Group 5, whether the savings culture is something which is good to be able to promote youth. That's one of the key things I want to tell you, yes. Let's not wait up to that first, time. We always want to say we don't have enough to save. Hata ile kidogo uko nayo, we have an account you can easily be able to save. We have an account which is tailored to the youth, and that's what we call STEP, and you can be able to do it as an individual. And when it comes to groups, you can be able to put yourselves together so that you can be able to save in an Mchama product, what we call Mchama. It's a group savings account that we have. Then once you've been able to pull those savings together, we work together with the Youth Enterprise Development Fund so that they, and the WESO, so that they can be able to do what? To give you the loans to carry out those economic activities that you want. So basically, we are happy to be here this day on this activity, and we promise to continue working together so that we can be able to uplift the living standards of the youth, because you are the engine of our economy, our growth as we move forward. So much.
All protocols observed. Wanayuthi muko tena. My name is Mutisia Muindi, representing UWESO Fund. UWESO Fund is a national government program, and we stand under the Ministry of Public Service and Gender in the State Department of Gender. While we are among the youngest funds, we were established in 2014 through a Gazette notice. Our core mandate is to expand credit to the youth, women, and persons with a disability. Besides giving them loans, The beneficiaries are taken through some training, rigorous training on general entrepreneurship, temple banking, and how to access government procurement opportunities, among the main things that we train them. Our presence is in the 290 constituencies. In Embu County, we have 4 constituencies. We have Beere North, Beere South, and Ronyenches and Manyata. All those 4 constituencies, we have the youth officers who are from the Ministry of ICT, and they are the secretaries to this fund at the constituency level. So our fund operates at the constituency. What is done at the national level mainly is just the board approval. Much of the activity
between 50,000 and 100,000. Then those groups who successfully complete their first loan, they go to round 2, round 3, and that one we call refinancing. So the amount is normally multiplied by 2. If they accessed 50,000, the groups graduate to 100,000. If they from 100,000 to 200,000, 200,000 to 400,000, at a maximum of 500,000. In Embu County, the fund has been able to disperse 118 million, 93,623. The absorption by the fund is 90% in Embu County. But I want to say, the main beneficiaries are not youth. The youth are number 2 from the 3 categories of our beneficiaries. In Embu County, I'm narrowing down to Embu County, 240 groups belonging to the youth have been able to access the fund, which is quite low if I compare with the other group of women who have managed 736 groups who have benefited from the fund. So I want to challenge the youth to come on board and access the fund through our youth officers who are the secretaries, and I'm sure they are here, so that we can upscale the uptake by the youth. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Tumpigie makofi. Bwana Mudendi, karibu. As you are telling us who you are and what your organization does, please also tell us what your organization is doing to promote youth employability, entrepreneurship and innovation.
Okay, asanteni sana, Madam CAS, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Kwa majina naitwa Benson Mudendi. I use both English and Kiswahili. Nafanya hazina ya vijana au kipenda Youth Enterprise Development Fund. And hazina ya vijana iko na majukumu ambayo inafanya. Mojawapo ni kutoa mikopo kwa vijana kwa ajili ya kufanya biashara. So tunatoa mikopo ya kupanua biashara au ya kuanzisha biashara. Pia tunatoa mafunzo ya kibiashara kwa vijana, na pia tunaambatisha vijana na soko au linking young people to markets for their products. Kuna baadhi ya mikopo ya loan products which we have to help young people be able to access and to align to what they do. Mwanzo kabisa unaweza kuchukua loan mkiwa group, and a group can be from 5 members and above as long as it is registered. We start you off with 100,000 for a group project, and we give you a grace period of 3 months. Once you repay in a year, we give you 200,000. You repay that, we give you 400,000, and we graduate you until you get to 1 million Kenya shillings. And within the group, mkishalipa mkopo ya kwanza, mnaweza kuchukua mkopo mkiwa individuals. Pia
kuna loan nyingine ambayo tunaita VUCA, ambayo ni ya business expansion, ambayo unaweza kuchukua ukiwa binafsi, unaweza kuchukua mkiwa kampuni, mkiwa partnership au aina yote ya biashara ambayo unafanya. Na hii mkopo ya kwanza tunakupatia from 100,000 up to 2 million Kenya shillings, na ukishalipa tunaweza kupatia hata 5 million. Na for instance tukitoka hapa kuna lady from here ambaye amechukua 2 million anafanya popo farming pande ya Gashoka. Ninapitia huko kwenda kuona shamba yake. Na pia kwa hiyo mkopo ya expansion kuna kitu tunaita asset financing. Kumaanisha kwamba kama huko katika biashara tuseme like that lady now who is doing popo farming, maybe she wants to buy a pickup or a truck to be taking her popos to the market, or you're doing a cereal shop, you want a truck to be distributing your cereals, then you come to us and we finance you to be able to buy that asset. Mkopo mwingine ambao tunatoa kwa vijana ni mkopo ambao tunaita agribusiness loan, na hiyo ni ya wale ambao wako katika farming na ambao you can get up to 2 million Kenya shillings. Kuna baadhi ya vijana kama wao wamekuwa hapa wakiigiza who are in the creative industry, people who are with talent and would want to be able to exploit that talent. So we give you what we call talent loan, which again you can get up to 2 million Kenya shillings. Then in 2015, His Excellency the President launched what we call AGPO, Affirmative Government Opportunities for youth, women and persons with disability. That means if you're a young person who desires to do business with government, you can approach a government entity and get an LPO. Ukipata hiyo LPO, unakuja kwetu and we finance you so that you can be able to service that LPO and then you pay us when you have been paid back. So that's the LPO financing. Niseme kwamba hapa Embu since inception tumetoa 373 million to 21,000 young people, na lakini ile tumetoa directly kwa sababu hapo mbeleni tulikuwa tunapitia financial intermediaries ni 115 million, Manyata 48 million, Runyenjes 32 million, Mbere South 18 million, Mbere North 15 million. Na mwaka huu pekee tumefanya 27 million kwa Embu County. Niseme pande ya employability ni kwamba one of the things we do is to prepare you by training you, providing financial literacy. Last year mwezi wa 10 tumefanya training hapa ambayo we have moved from ward to ward and we were able to train 1,200 youth in a span of 2 weeks. And the skills we give you prepare you so that you can be able to start your own enterprise, kwa sababu kuajiriwa sio kuajiriwa tu kwa kampuni, kwa sababu hata hiyo kampuni ni biashara ya mtu mwingine. Mfano ukienda kuajiriwa Equity Bank leo, Equity Bank ni biashara ya watu wengine. Safaricom ni biashara ya watu wengine. Pia wewe uko na uwezo wa kuanzisha biashara yako, ukajiajiri na ukaajiri wengine. And so therefore we give you business readiness, we train you, we support you, and I'm happy we are working with Post Bank. We are doing a lot of work on the ground with Post Bank so that we can provide you with financial literacy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
As you finish,
yep,
what are the challenges does the Youth Fund face while engaging the young people, and how can you address them?
Now, some of the challenges, and that's a very good question, that we face when we are engaging with young people, is that both of us have to be realistic, yourself and ourselves. That when we sit down, at times it is important that you prepare yourself so that you are able to communicate what you need to do. Tusije tukasema mimi nataka biashara nipe pesa tu. Nikikuuliza unataka kufanya biashara gani? Wewe nipe pesa nitajipanga ukishanipatia pesa. Tumeelewana? So it is important that first of all you sit, consult widely with people who probably are knowledgeable about business, then so that as you're coming to us, you really understand exactly what you want to do or what you are doing, so that then we find it easier to finance you. Because at times, people are not very clear on what they want, but they still want to be financed. So that is one thing. Then the other thing is that we're encouraging young people, the youth, vijana, tafadhali tusikae nyumbani, tungojee kutafuta information. Because I've heard the presentations here, among all the sectors that we're presenting here, one of the biggest challenges is access to information. Now this information is available online. Any information now you need nowadays from government is available online. And we are always on phone, we are always in the internet. Kindly, let us use that internet for our benefit. Nikimalizia ni kwamba, tuko na ofisi hapa kwa Youth Empowerment Center, and we have our officer ambaye anaitwa Lilian Wanja. Lilian, yuko hapa. Kuja tu useme namba yako ya simu tafadhali. Just your telephone number.
Vijana chukueni hiyo namba, mmesikia kuna pesa?
Habari zenyu. Mimi naitwa Lilian Wanja. I'm the county credit officer here. And my number is 0721 934583. 0721 934583. Already nimeanza kupata flash.
Thank you very much.
Okay, our office are opposite just Embu Law Court. We are located in Youth Empowerment Center, and also in Keretire, where that is Mbere South. We are located in Youth Office, just next to the police station, Keretire. In Chicago, we are in DCC ground in the Youth Office. And then when you go to Ronyenjes, we are in the next to CDF office. That's where we'll find the Youth Office. We'll find our officers there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now please make use of that officer and the other officers. They are very good. This is one county where we consistently meet our targets because the officers are hardworking. Tafadhali mwatumia, asanteni.
Thank you very much. Tumpigie makofi. Representative wa NYS. As you address us, we would want also you to inform us what are the market relevant skills for jobs that you are focusing on at the NYS to create decent jobs and improve livelihoods.
Madam CS, all the distinguished guests and our youth, good morning. Sorry, it's afternoon, I'm being reminded. I think my watch must have stopped because I looked at it, seems like it's morning. Sometimes we put on watches for Maridadi, I think. Yeah, okay. My name is Jacqueline Makanda from the National Youth Service. And I will start by saying that NYS has been one of the most adversely mentioned institutions in this Kikao this morning. But I'm also happy that at least two institutions positively mentioned NYS. That is NTSA. We are doing a real beautiful job with NTSA. We are training our boda. And we are in serious collaboration with the Post Bank, where we are inculcating a culture of savings among our servicemen and servicewomen whom we recruit. Now, I'll start by saying that I'm not going to try to exonerate NYS on what has been mentioned, but I will say that NYS, like any other government agency, we strive to provide all services that are freely. So when I had one of us mention that to join NYS, you must utoe kitu, I will really request that after this Kikao, we have a desk here, we have colleagues who are seated there, because this is one of the things we are doing. We are institutionalizing reforms, serious reforms, to turn around that institution to be able to deliver its mandate. And our mandate is to empower the youth of this nation. So if we concluded our recruitment just, I think, 2 weeks ago, and I want to tell you that in Embu, we filled all the positions that were supposed to have been filled, unlike every other constituency. We recruited 104 males from this county, the entire county, and 50 females, a total of 154. Youth joining the training program, which I'm going to talk about briefly. Then we also recruited officers. Now, recruiting officers who are going to be employees of the National Youth Service, meaning they are government officers, you must have gone through the NYS program successfully to the end. And in this county, we managed to recruit 14 males and 6 females, a total of 20, and currently they are undergoing induction in our Gilgil college. And I would also want to emphasize that our services are free. If we came on the ground, our officers came on the ground to do recruitment, and any one of them asked you to pay even a single cent for that activity, I would appreciate if you could just silently come to our desk, tell us who that officer is, and we will be able to address it from our Director General's position, kindly, because our services are free. The moment you get even recruitment, the only thing you pay is medical charges, because on the ground when we are recruiting, you must go for medical checkup. Now, the service does not pay for your medical checkup. That is the only thing you pay. And the medical checkup is based on the charges that are normally charged in that hospital. In fact, what NYS does, we negotiate with the hospital to lower the charges for the youth. So I'm going to emphasize, allow me to say this because we were adversely mentioned. And I also want to say that NYS, in the past, we've not had such a very good name because of very bad things that have been happening. The government, through the president, has put in place serious reforms that are taking place currently. And if you've been following our Director General and NYS on our Twitter account, you can see what we are trying to put in place. It's not something that will take place like overnight, no. But I will tell you that we have positive reforms that are taking place. We have a council in place, and we have our Director General who is institutionalizing all these reforms. So I'm going to call upon youth. Can we commit to no corruption? And that's what I'm saying. If an officer, our officer of NYS, asked you for money, or you know anybody who was asked for money to pay before you join NYS, me on the sites, and then we will present that case to the top, because that is one of the things we are trying to root out of NYS. So now allow me to talk about NYS. What do we do? Thank you. Now, NYS, we are a youth empowerment program, and we undertake programs in training programs in three stages, and the stages are undertaken systematically, meaning that we come on the ground, we recruit youth, we take them to our paramilitary academy. The academy is in Naivasha, that's one campus, and Gilgil, another campus. We train you in paramilitary skills. Actually, it is military training, but without the gun, the weapon bit, for a period of between 4 to 6 months, after which you go for national building. Nation building, the other day in Embu here, we had some locusts, and our youth camped in, I think, in Runyenjes, because I visited them in Runyenjes, and we were fighting locusts. That is part of national service. And we do other things like railway rehabilitation, that is national service. And in most cases, if you go to our field units, you will find youth engaged in agricultural activities. If you can see one of the photos we have there on our banner there, we seriously do agriculture. And that will actually address the issue we are talking about here, that we are engaging our youth in agricultural activities, and we also have an agricultural school. So those who leave the nation building stage move to technical and vocational training, which is now the third and the last program. They will be trained in agricultural skills so that you will actually take those skills back home and you will be able to practice. Right now, NYS has one of the second certified potato seed production center in Africa. It is based in our Tumaini field unit. If you can see that photo there, it is the second in Africa. And it is not, it is actually our youth who normally are engaged in that activity. If you go to that center, you will find them doing that, and we are saying that that is part of training them. Now, when we finish national service, you proceed to the last program, which is technical and vocational training. Technical and vocational training, NYS has 17 schools, our own schools. And we take you to undertake every program that is undertaken in any other TVET institution in this country. That is by the Ministry of Agriculture. So agricultural programs, plant mechanics, driving courses, tailoring and fashion design. I mean, they are numerous. There are very many. They cut across. So how do we promote employability? We do that by equipping you with the skills. And right now we are saying, do not get out of NYS and then go looking for jobs. No. With the skills, the technical skills that you have, we've trained you as an engineer. We have an engineering school. NYS engineering school, we offer diploma courses. Can you get out, go look, set up your own business and start that particular business? We are putting in place, when you join NYS, one of the things that you will get, actually, when you join NYS, everything is free. The government takes care of where you will sleep, how you will eat, how you will dress, the uniform, like you can see my colleagues dressed, and all that. It is free. And we also pay you a stipend of 2,100, but part of that money is saved. So we are coming up with a strategy to enable those savings to be pulled together so that when you leave, you can be able to use that money and form like groups, for example, what we call self-employment promotion units. Then you will start that back home. And that is what we basically do. And then apart from that, just to stop 1 minute, we are also setting up a youth placement center. Actually, we've already set it up. And we are, after our youth leave, they are able to, when we get requests from organizations like, for example, KDF. KDF last year took 250 of our servicemen and women. The police took quite a number, Kenya prisons, government agencies. We are liaising with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to have our youth go outside. But for you to benefit, you must have gone through the NYS program. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Just before you sit, you've told us that you have a school of agriculture. How have you rebranded agriculture to look cool to young people? Because agriculture has been perceived to be done by the older generation. And we all know that it's an explored frontier for growth in business opportunities.
Thank you so much, Madam Jane. Like I said, we are currently undertaking, we are trying to put in place modern agriculture. Now, modern agriculture is trying to make use of most especially technology, like the aeroponic production that I'm talking about in Tumaini. If you go there, you wouldn't imagine like it is an agricultural production thing. It's just a greenhouse, and they are very nice, what do we call them, potatoes, and they are growing just like that photo there. So what we are trying to do is trying to modernize agriculture, first and foremost. And number two, we are actually, someone talked about attitude. We are telling our youth that we can actually commercialize agriculture. You make agriculture. So we are trying to change our youth, the youth that we have in our institution, to take agriculture as a commercial.
Small Enterprise Authority. It was established in 2012 through the Act number 55, and our mandate is to promote, develop, and regulate micro and small enterprises. Our core mandate, one of them is infrastructure development. When I talk about infrastructure development, it's whereby we provide a facility for an MSC. And when I talk about MSC, it's micro and small entrepreneur, where you can to start your business, grow it. When you grow further, you can be able to move in other places where you are able to rent your own place. For example, in Embu County, we have innovated the CIDZ, what we call Constituency Industrial Development Centers. All these are geared towards supporting manufacturing, agribusiness, industrialize our areas. We have one in Kikao, that is the better south, which is underutilized, and I call upon youth to take on that. We have one in Rujejet that we have finalized innovations that we expect the occupant to, most of the youth will occupy the place. We have another one in Chicago, in the better north, katikati hapo kwa town. We have a CNDC there. Only few people are there, and I call upon the youth in the better north to make use of that. We also have the work site, whereby it's a site like in Embu near the sewer. We have a site which is a 5-acre site. So many youth are there. People are getting skills from the established mechanics, metal fabricators, and they are not living. So I call upon you, msemi ni kazi ya wala watu wachafu. Hapana, people are making money. We have millionaires there. People are very rich. Someone is there, unasema ni mchafu, lakini unasikia kuna magari kama 15 kwa barabara za matatu. See that money? Ama ni aje vijana? Yes, don't choose what to do. Another thing that we do is capacity building. We train, and this one we have done especially Embu West. When we were the Kazimtan, we collaborated with the office of the county commissioner, and we were able to train so many youth. Mko hapa wala nimetrain. Hebu inua mkono. I can see quite a number that we have trained. We trained 1,690 around. The first batch we trained everyone. The second round we trained those who were able to conceptualize what to train them, and they had established their own enterprises. And now we are out from that program. Mostly we are partnered with some financial institutions for capacity building. Equity Bank has a foundation that we call Young African Works Kenya, whereby they target youth and the people who have employed youth. That means they are targeting everyone because majority of entrepreneurs have employed youth. We also have a partnership with Family Bank. All that one is also geared towards accessing cheap credit in a negotiated way. We have a partnership with the Gulf of African Bank. All those are geared towards supporting MSCs. And when we talk about MSCs, we are not leaving youth out. Actually, we are calling upon youth to come out in large numbers and be entrepreneurs. Sawa sawa. We have another partnership that we are training youth, and we have finalized on training TOTs, trainers of trainers, that will be training youth across the country on digital literacy, the platforms that are there on online marketing and job, or anything that can assist you to earn a living. That one we have partnered with that big bank, we do their foundation, and we expect to launch that one very soon. Another thing that we do is access of provision of cheap credit. We have an MSC fund that is about to be launched. We were just awaiting the regulation to be gazetted. Once the gazetted, we will have that fund in place, and the fund will be so cheap for you people because this fund is also to cut across all MSCs, and we call upon you when we issue those loans, kindly take advantage and do business. Another thing that we do, which is very important, is market access. We have people who have lucrative products. You are coming up with nice products. Maybe you have challenged on market. We are able to link you both nationally and regional and also international markets, wherever that we can find a market for you. We also assist you to do product development. Yeah? So that at least your product can be able to meet the standards that are required both local and internationally. I think that's very important that we do in line with the capacity of what we call business development services. You are there, you have established your own business, you want to be guided, you want to be trained on what to do in any stage of business. Guys, we need your business to see the next birthday. When I say the next birthday of our business, I know you won't understand what I'm saying. You have started your business, it's a mandate starter who wants you to go to grow the stage that your business will grow. Probably you have started micro, you want it to be a small business, then you go to medium, then you go to a large institution. So we are there to assist you. You have an idea, probably you are confused. Come and share with us, we can be able to unpack the idea and assist you to establish a venture out of that.
Thank you very much. Before you finish, entrepreneurship is a core unit in all higher learning institutions. But majority of the young people have not embraced it as a source of livelihood. In your opinion, as Musea, what do you think should be done?
Now, as I approach that question, she is saying that entrepreneurship is a core unit. I also teach entrepreneurship on part-time. It's a core unit to anyone in higher learning institution. And why? It's so that you can be able to calculate the culture of entrepreneurship in our minds. And yet, people don't take advantage of that. The only problem that we have, and it's my advice, that we start businesses, but we are not entrepreneurial. Guys, let's think entrepreneurial. When I talk about thinking entrepreneurial, is that think of an idea that is innovative, creative, that is unique. Even if it's an idea that anyone else is doing, how unique is your business? That you can be able to attract customers and grow your business. There are other things that can make you to go back. I belong to, I subscribe to the School of Law, that finance is not a problem in entrepreneurship. What you need is you have an idea and start small. It's not how much money that you offer to establish an entrepreneurship, an enterprise. It's the focus that you have to grow your business. That's what I'm saying. Yes, you have the knowledge, the skills of entrepreneurship, but establish an enterprise that you are passionate about, that you are focused on growing it, you want to in another level, and that way you will be entrepreneur, not just a business person. Not just a business person. Who has a shop. Who has a shop that he has run that shop for 30 years. Unapata sukari ni moja, omo ni moja, na malingi anauza hakuna.
Thank you very much. Tumpigie makofi. Madam Cooperatives. Tuambie kuhusu cooperatives. And as you are talking to us about cooperatives, maybe you could tell us why young people have not embraced the saving culture and what can be done.
Thank you very much, Madam Jane. All protocols of that. Wanaika muko? Asanteni sana. My name is Priscilla Maranga. I'm from the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Cooperatives. But specifically, I work for the State Department for Cooperatives. I want to say that cooperatives cut across all sectors of our economy, and they are vehicles of development. Anyone who wants to develop from one place or from one level to the next one, cooperative is the way to go. When I say that cooperatives cut across all sectors of our economy, when it comes to agriculture, we have dairy cooperatives, we have marketing cooperatives. Marketing, we are talking of dairy, we are talking of coffee, cotton, and all that. Then we have housing cooperatives, and we have now what we call SACCOs. And I believe this is the opportunities that are there. A SACCO is an acronym for a Savings and Credit Cooperative Society, meaning that for you to start this journey, you start by saving, then borrow, then when you borrow, you repay the loan, so that we can help you grow from one level to the next one. SACCOs, they are in two categories. There is what we call urban SACCOs, and there is what we call rural SACCOs. Urban SACCOs are domiciled in what we call shake-off system. When you are employed, your employer just deducts what you have instructed him to do, and then limits the same to the SACCO of your choice. But when it comes to rural SACCOs, this is where you yourself, you remove money from your pocket, do your savings, then when you acquire a loan, again, it is discipline, it calls for a lot of discipline. You remove money from your pocket to service the loan, and you continue saving. We are saying that cooperatives are devolved function. At the county, we do a lot of sensitization to our members, not just the youth, even the old, those who are still not in cooperatives, and those who are already in cooperatives, how they can better those organizations so that they can continue helping them to grow. When we come to the issues of national government, what are we doing at the national government? Currently, as a State Department for Cooperatives, we are really engaged in coming up with developing policies that can help the youths to nurture their cooperative organizations, grow them to become even banks. We have seen so many organizations growing from small to very big banks. And we have examples even in this Embu County, all over cutting across. Now, why we come up with the, I've talked of coming up with the policies, then we do a lot of capacity building. And like today, there's a lot of empowerment going on. And I've heard you people say that education or information is power. But it will never translate to power until we put it into practice. So I'm urging you people that even after we leave here, whatever we have been sensitized on, whatever we have learned, we can only translate that to something we can gain from after we have put it into use. When it comes to issues of capacity development, we want to package our youths so that they just don't think of being employed. They can become CEOs of their own organizations. You've been told about entrepreneurship, coming up with an innovative idea, creative idea, and turning it into a big idea, a big company, and you become a CEO of your own organization.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Just one. So, why SACCO? Why do you join SACCOs? Kazi mitaani, borders, because even in transport we have a lot of SACCOs, they are cutting all across. It is because they enable you to save regularly, borrow wisely, and repay promptly. And when you borrow, you don't just borrow what you have saved. You can borrow ×3 of your savings or ×4. And we don't ask you for logbooks in form of collateral. We don't ask you for title deeds. Your fellow youth, your fellow Fred can be a guarantor of your own, of the loan that you have taken. And we are saying that a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one single step.
Thank
so
you
it
very
is possible.
Much. Tumpigie makofi mambo ya cooperative. Vijana mtaanza kusave. Mtaanza kusave. Tumepata pesa, tumepata skills kuna hapa. Tukipata pesa tunaanza kusave. I would want to introduce Horn of Africa, Mr. Mumanyi. Tell us what your organization does and how it seeks to promote youth participation in decision-making processes.
Vijana wa Embu, salamu alaikum. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. My name is David Mumanyi and I work for the Horn of Africa Youth Network, and I'm glad to be here today. What we do, the Horn of Africa Youth Network is a network of youth-serving organizations that we promote youth so that they can be able to engage with the decision makers. And we associate ourselves with the Kikao, vile tunawakilisha base, and also Kenya ni Mimi campaign, ambayo there are some of the colleagues who will be able to come and speak. What we do, we have tried to make sure that we open up spaces for youth engagement so that they can be able to domesticate some of the policies that are discussed at the African Union, the East African Community, and also at the national level. Mavijana mnaelewa Kenya is a signatory of the African Union. Mnajua hivyo? Hello? Mnafahamu? Hello? Mnajua hivyo? So when Sasaka will be coming to speak here, there is what we call the African Youth Charter. It's the one that gives an opportunity for each member state so that they can be able to come up with some structures where they can be able to engage with governments. And what we do, we make sure that the government of various member states, they have implemented that African Youth Charter, and they have some of the progressive institutions that can be able to support young youth engagement in these particular countries. But also, we are also supporting the government of Kenya in terms of making sure that the issues of peace and security is very key. You realize that most recently the government of Kenya got the position of the United Nations Security Council to make sure that in the next 2 years, how they can be able to propel peace and security. What we do in that particular pillar is to work very closely with the Kenyan Mimi campaign, and we'll be training peace ambassadors to see how they can be able to promote peace. Some of us in this particular region, we might not experience peace, but if you go to other nations or other counties in the country, you'll be able to see why peace is very, very important. And if you also cross to other parts of the region, like South Sudan, Yesterday they were celebrating 10 years of independence. And those young men and women, you will see them actually in the streets of Nairobi. They hope to go back in their respective countries so that they can be able to rebuild. So the issue of peace is very, very important in our societies. And we are very keen to make sure that we work with the government so that they can be able to enhance peace in our respective communities. But also, as colleagues have spoken here, there are some of the negotiations that are taking place in PA, the trade at the regional level or at the continental level. Today we are speaking about the African Continental Free Trade Area. How can we make sure that young person from Embu can be able to do business in Uganda? Or can be able to go to Tanzania and do some businesses? Or can be able to cross to Cape Town or Ghana, can you be able to do this particular business? Is to make sure that there is a conducive environment, and we are working very closely with governments to make sure that there is a conducive environment for any young person who wants to do business, that they can be able to do that particular business without any other hindrance in these particular communities. So thank you very much, and I'll be more than glad to take any questions that you want to ask. If you need any support, we are available to be able to give you that particular support.
Just
thank you very much.
Before you finish, maybe you could tell us how you are involving the young people in terms of promoting patriotism, because security comes with patriotism. Security, you know, when you feel like you're patriotic to your country, what are you doing to promote patriotism and promote national values and principles of governance?
What we have been doing is to make sure that we as young people, we have an identity. Sometimes, like next year, we'll be going for elections. And if you come from Behere, or you come from Wales, Runyenjes, you'll want to go back in your cocoon and try to be able to promote your leaders in those particular areas. What we want to see in this particular generation, how can we move together to make sure that we have one identity and we can be able to speak one language? Because there are some of the issues that many of us presented here today. Those issues will require us to have collective efforts. How best can we be able to make sure that we address those particular issues as youth, not coming from this particular tribe or from this particular origin or this particular religion? How can we promote that particular identity? By doing so, we are promoting values of our nation, but most importantly is to make sure that we promote that particular cohesiveness. And without that, there will be no peace in our communities. And we, in this particular generation, we have that particular responsibility to make sure these issues are addressed. And that's why I said earlier, we will be having a tailor-made trainings on peace and security. And we'll be working with the Kenyan and Mimi ambassadors to make sure that we have those particular capacity building skills for our young people across the 47 counties, to make sure that we have those particular skills so that we can be able to engage. We will train our trainees, and those trainees will be able to go to respective communities, respective constituencies and wards to make sure that they train other fellow young people so that we can be able to promote that particular identity. Thank you very much.
Tumpigie makofi. Haya vijana, mnasikiza gava iko kwa ground, na sasa nataka kulete CEO wa National Youth Council. National Youth Council ni sauti yenyu. Hiyo ndio institution yenyu. Sasa Bwana Roy, karibu.
Thank you so much, Jen, for moderating our session. Our chief guest, Madam CAS, Nadia, all the delegation that has accompanied you today. We have board members, we have board chairs, we have CEOs, we have a spokesperson mwenyewe, Akobez, and we are happy to have you on board. Vijana hoye! Vijana hoye! Nikisema NYC, muniambie sauti ya vijana. NYC! NYC! Sauti ya vijana? Sauti ya vijana? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Allow me just to take the opportunity given to me by Jen to mention one or two things. One is that National Youth Council ni shirika lenu. NYC was created after young people actually pushed to be represented, included, and associated. Have a form, an organization that can represent them. And that informs why in section 55 of the Constitution, when they were putting it, we saw the need to have young people have a voice.
So National Youth Council is that voice of the young people in the country to make sure that young people are included in the decision making. What we are doing as National Youth Council, we are making sure that we sensitize young people on opportunities available in government. Not only in government, but also in other areas, be it in the private sector. What we're also doing is to have intergenerational dialogues where young people, we can sit like this, discuss about the problems we are facing, and also come up with solutions. And also look at what are some of the contemporary issues affecting us, issues of drug abuse, issues of our mental health awareness, issues of our values, issues of patriotism, and that is what we are doing as National Youth Council across the country. When you look at issues of patriotism and voluntarism, you realize that there are so many challenges we are facing in terms of climate action. And that's why National Youth Council, together with strategic partners like Kenya Forest Service, in this year alone, we've been we were given a target of planting 50,000 trees, but we gave ourselves a target of planting 500,000 trees. And we've done that. And let me mention something. Embu County did an amazing job. Can you clap for yourself, please? Can you clap for yourself? Because when you look at that Greening Kenya report that we came out, the many trees that were planted were from Embu County. And then, of course, there is the issues of policies and legislation. Na hii ni hizo policies zenye zinaendelea na legislations, zile memorandums that are happening in parliament. And that's what we are doing as National Youth Council, also creating a space where that voice of the youth can be heard in those memorandum. Now, let me go to why we are here today. Why is it that the Gava Eco Base, Eco Ground? Why are we all this? Why has spokesperson left his office and come to engage with us as young people? Why is Waziri here in Embu? The reason why we are doing this is a deliberate government agenda to make sure that all of us young people who are seated here are taking advantage of the opportunities available in government. One day, of course, let me start with the opportunities available at National Youth Council and then I'll conclude. Last year, when we were facing Corona, National Youth Council launched a program called Fursa versus Virus Challenge, where we had young people come up with techie and non-techie solutions to economic recovery. And we had 2 winners from Embu. And we were collecting, the winners were across the country. So I just want to challenge you that as we come up with these opportunities, please let's make sure we take advantage. This year, as Bwana Secretary is planning for the National Youth Week in Act, we've also launched another series of Fursa versus Economic Recovery. A challenge where we want young people to come in and come up with solutions to our economic recovery. And the winners have a lot of goodies. We have prizes, we have even trips to the US, and we want you young people from Embu to take advantage of that. And where do we get this information? National Youth Council, we have our social media platforms, we have Twitter, and I just want you guys to take advantage. Take 1 second. Remove your phone right now. Just search for National Youth Council on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, and follow us. Because let me tell you one thing. We get so many opportunities as National Youth Council, but sometimes the time to advertise on the newspaper is not there. The secretary here will send me a letter telling me we need to nominate 10 youths to represent Kenya in Canada tomorrow. I don't have that time to put in the newspaper. What I'll do, I'll go to the social media and I'll put there. Last year in January, we sent 15 young people to Japan for a course of 4 months. Why is it not you who is taking advantage of those opportunities available? And as I conclude, the government is very deliberate in making sure that young people are in government, are in decision making, are actually in the decision table. And that's why when you look at here, you will see faces of young people, starting with our CS, starting with our board member who is going to speak to you. What the president did is he appointed chief administrative secretaries, young people, 7 of them. What our CS did, Mr. Joe Msheru, in pushing for youth inclusivity and participation, he actually appointed 9 youth advisory board members, and one of them is seated here. And CS Joe Msheru has said that he needs to continue pushing for youth representation. And as we speak right now, we are actually in the process the CS has already finalized the election guidelines for National Youth Council. So in the next few months, 4 months, we're going to have National Youth Council elections. Vijana tuko. Vijana tuko. NYC. NYC. Sauti ya vijana. Now let me tell you, and I'm going to finish here. That is the highest level of representation of young people. When you participate in those elections and you are elected, you come to sit as a board member, as a council member, where you become my boss, and you're leading the 13 million Kenyan youth in this country. So when the CS finally says that let's have this election, we want to see the youth from Embu taking part and taking that leadership role. Are we making that commitment? Are we making that commitment? And as I was coming to address you, Jen mentioned to me that I should actually focus and talk about attitude change. And I just want to say it in 1 second. That yes, the government led by the CAS is here. We've brought all these opportunities. There is the Youth Fund. There is the Women Enterprise Fund. There is the NYS. What I want us to do as young people seated here from Embu, let's make a commitment that today we have been empowered, today we've been given information, spokesperson has made sure that we have this information in Embu, and as a young person from Embu, we are going to knock those doors. Are we making that commitment? Young people from Embu, are we making that commitment? That we are going to knock on Youth Enterprise Fund, are we going to do that? That we are going to knock on Women Enterprise Fund, are we going to do that? Let's do this, let's make sure that
congratulations, because I know you're going to be the... Asante sana.
Thank you very much, Bwana CEO. Tumpigie makofi. Tumesikiza hizo information tumepata kwa panel discussion. Wakubwa wetu wametuongelesha. Tuwachukulie manyunyu, tuchukue manyunyu. Tafuta manyunyu on the side, tafuta on the side, on the left, tuwapigie makofi. Okay, tuchukue manyunyu. Chukua juu kabisa. Ni exercise pia. Fanya left, right, chini, tuwapigie makofi. Thank you very much. I believe you have your takeaways from that panel discussion. Kuna kitu imekuguza, kuna wengine hapa wanatomeka na maswali. Tutawapatia hiyo fursa ya kuuliza maswali. DJ, tupatie kwa hivyo tujichangamshe.
Thank you so much the stakeholders for that session. Asanteni sana. Wakae hapo Asante. Now, Madam CS, we are privileged to have a member of the county assembly who is also an artist in Embu. DJ, unaweza gutisha awa? Madam. Asante. Hiyo wimbo ni ya one of our member of county assemblies here in Embu. Mpigieni makofi. We are lucky. Tuendelee na hiyo. Wa hiyo tu. Madam atusaidie kudance. Wakiwa na spokesman. Alafu nifungwe. Unajua hiyo lazima mtu afanye miguu hivyo. Hiyo huwezi dance umesimama. Joe. Where is Mwiga? Where is Kenneth?
Kenneth Mwiga huko. Kuja. Jo hapa. DJ twende. Kuja hapa. Miguu tu ndio una coordinate hapa Miguu inaenda hivyo. Asante. Government spokesman, uko na 1,000 haina kazi? 1,000 tu. Nipe 1,000 yako. Nisaidie. Tutapangana. Asante. Thank you so much. Sasa Ngoja, mbona unacheka? Si amelipa nini lesson? Ni lesson. You na Mwigi ametoroka na ndiye alikuwa next. Mwigi ukuje na 500 tafadhali. Wewe nitakulipisha kidogo after school fee. Asante sana. We are going on well now. Nitapea hii chance kwa madam hapa.
Thank you so much. Group 1 mpo? Group 1 mpo? Fanyeni hivi. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, chair na kuona. Group 4, Group 5, sita. Imeishia hapo, si ndio? Haya. Sasa wakuu wetu wameongea vile huwa wanafanya, si ndio? Si mmesikia kuhusu post? Mmesikia? Niongelesheni ndio tuongee pamoja, sawa? Post Bank mmesikia? YADF mmesikia? Women Enterprise, Uwezo, National Youth Council, NYS, Cooperatives, NGAF, NTSA, wote mmewasikia? Haya, sasa hii ni wakati wenu. Nataka muulize maswali. Sawa? Lakini Madam Chair, kabla hujauliza hiyo swali yako, nina maswali matatu hapa nilikuwa nimeulizwa. Sawa? So tutauliza hizo maswali matatu, and then sasa nialike wengine wawili so that we can note down the questions as our panelists, and then now we'll get to respond to the questions. Sawa? Haya, tusikizane. Soda itawafikia. Tusikizane. The first question ilikuwa inasema, when government advertises for jobs, where do they want us to have 10 years experience from? Especially the youth. Umesikia swali? Government ikiadvertise wanasema 10 years experience, 15 years experience, na wanataka na to apply. Hiyo experience inatoka wapi? Haya, question number 2. Why should rules strive to make gender representation permanent? Why should rules strive to make gender representation, in brackets, affirmative action, permanent, whereas it is time sensitive? Meshika hiyo swali? Yeah? Meshika hiyo swali? Hamjaelewa hiyo swali? Mwenye ameandika hii karatasi amesema, why should rules strive to make gender representation permanent, whereas it is time sensitive? Haya, kuna number 3 hapa imeandikwa by jamaa anaitwa Eric Mugendi from Runyenjes. Amesema, I would like to represent the youth. My value, I'd like to add value to empower the youth. Those are 3 questions. Our panelists, I hope you've gotten the 3 questions. Random. We can answer those questions in a random manner.
Vijana mko? I want to concentrate on question number 3. Value. What kind of value? Is it value addition or any value? Any value, eh? Now, I will focus on value addition. Ama ni aje? For us to take advantage of agribusiness, si lazima ulime. Ama lazima ulime kwa shamba ulime. But you can add value to what you are doing what? Chenye kinalima na wengine. Sawa sawa? Huyo Runyenjes yako wapi? Uko hapo? If you have an idea that you want to add value, see me after this. I'll give you space for free to add value. If you have something to add value in agribusiness, I'll provide for you a space for free.
Okay.
Sawa sawa?
Thank you.
And then also organize the other where you can have a Kikao on value addition and innovation. Then you can be able to focus on that. Any other value, you can support others still. There is room to support others. Just engage us. We are here. We will give our numbers. Engage us, engage other officers in the program that you have to engage properly on adding value to other people, helping others. People are there and government agencies are there to support you. On employment, I don't think that's the true position. Entry level, hata kama si yangu hiyo, entry level for job haichangi penzi ya miaka 10. I have an officer here who came the other day. Mwangi, James, Mwangi is here. Mwangi graduate lini, you know, it's a testimony. Do you want to see 10 years ama ni aje? Uli graduate lini Mwangi? Mwangi graduated in 2019 and he is our officer here. Hiyo ni miaka 10. Hapana, it's not a true position, but there are positions that you require experience. Kama hii yangu sasa utakuja upate leo. Niko director wa region. Si lazima unjenge kutoka chini.
Thank you very much. About the affirmative, I think about the affirmative, I think that question was, why should we continue having affirmative interventions and yet they are time barred? As in youth that are poor youth for long. So do you think that what can be done? 1 minute.
Asante, about affirmative and youth will not be youth forever. You see, anytime we talk about affirmative, what we mean is that we are trying to address where we think there's a challenge. For instance, if you look at affirmative action for women, for a long time women have been disadvantaged. So we are trying to address the issues that disadvantage women so they can be at par with men in terms of access to opportunities. Now when we come to youth, we are trying to give youth an opportunity because, for instance, let's look at something like marketing of products. When you begin a business as a young person, you do not have networks, you do not have experience, but you're competing with people who have networks, people who have experience, and so on. And so therefore, we will have institutions like the Youth Enterprise Development Fund that will try and support the youth so that, you know, they can accelerate your growth. And that is one of the reasons why a program like AGPO was brought in by government. Why does AGPO come in? It is an affirmative action fund, program to help you accelerate the growth of your business. So if you have a business that cannot be able to compete with other businesses to access opportunities in government, then government puts aside 30% and says, this is for youth. And therefore it means if you start a business today and you come to Embu University, which is a government institution, they give you an opportunity to supply vegetables here. They give you an opportunity even to supply stationery. They give you an opportunity to probably tend their grounds. That accelerates the growth of your enterprise, and therefore it's able to stand at equal footing. So affirmative action should continue until we assure that all the issues that we are addressing through the initiative are addressed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Mmesikia vile mmejibiwa kuhusu mambo na experience, kuhusu mambo na affirmative funds, na kuhusu mambo na nini? Kuhusu mambo na nini? Adding value. Si ndio? Haya, Madam Chair, naona ulikuwa na swali.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hamtaki kusalimika. Msha kunywa soda mmeshiba. Mr. Cyrus Oguna. Hi. We meet again. Tulikuwa Eldoret last month. Good. Lazima msaneni kujichocha.
Do I say?
So my name is Olive. I'm representing the youth of Embu, particularly Manyata. I have several questions that I'll frame into one. You guys have already made it. Msha make it. Sindo? I'm going to be very brutal, very blunt, because this is leadership and it comes with the territory. But I know you're strong enough to handle. Why are you guys insisting on making us slaves year in, year out? You are asking us to save and you are investing in your children. Like, you're teaching your children to invest, but you're teaching us to save. Sahi nikisave, alafu nishikwe na cancer. By the time I'm on my 3rd, 4th chemo, my money is gone. If I have a business, kama nina ng'ombe ya maziwa na inatoa lita 10 kila mwezi au kila siku, na nauza na napata 10,000, hiyo 10,000 si inaweza nisaidia mimi nikuwe treated with my cancer. And then I have a question for you, sir. How old are you? Yes. 33. What will it take for me to sit where you're seated? What will it take? What did you do? Unajua nani? Who's your godfather? Don't answer, I'm joking. But, you know, that's what I mean. Like, even though kuko sahi. Yes. So my point is, I want to sit where you are seated, not necessarily in your seat, but I want to be a beneficiary. Don't you talk hapa nje niambia majamaa, unajua nini? Hiyo kitu ni ukweli, because I've been trying to get you for a very long time. Thank you.
Yeah. I want to just have a minute on the issue of saving. We want money to invest. You cannot do any investment without money. That is why we are saying, for us to be able to invest, we have to inculcate the culture of saving. You save, borrow, then repay. What we are saying, we are trying to come up with products. Even the little you get, we are saying, kura tano, weka tano. Don't consume everything so that you don't become dependent on you. Yeah. Ile kidogo unapata, you can eat. If you get 5 shillings, don't consume all of it. Consume 3, save 2. That is all we are trying to say. Then it gives you a financial base to take loans.
Thank you so much. Jenny is telling me I have a second. I've been asked, I'm 33 years old, I'm the CEO for National Youth Council. How did I get there? Whom did I know? I didn't know anyone. I was a simple, humble young man from Bungoma. I went to school in Nairobi University. So what I want to say is this.
They are not here.
Hello? Hello? Let me just use 1 second to answer that question and give you my life experience in 1 second. When I was in primary, the kind of school uniform I was wearing had 2 television. Ilikuwa na mapacha mawili huku nyuma. I didn't have shoes. And that tells you that I come from a humble background from Bungoma. So all along to sit where I'm sitting here today as CEO of National Youth Council at 33 years old, I didn't know anyone. What I did is that I was committed. I took advantage of volunteerism programs that are available. At the university, I took chance in leadership. I vied, and through that process, I was actually learning leadership. I made so many applications to join government. Actually, I think almost over 3,000. So I was determined. I never took, and for me to change now to CEO position, let me tell you one thing. I applied for that position. I didn't know anyone. I went for that interview, and I was given that position. So what I want to tell you is this. Let's take chance of opportunities available. Because you have this mentality that you have to know someone, have connections. It's not what you need. And then finally, I like what the gentleman asked, that he wants to add value, and he also wants to represent the youth. That is the initiative you take to be a leader. So as you talk about representing the youth, let's start with the National Youth Council elections that are coming. You take part, be elected, come and be the council member. Thank you so much and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Tuwapigie makofi wanapoenda. I believe we have so many questions. Thank you so much, our panelists. We can go back to our seats. Vijana, I believe we have so many questions. Please write them. Vijana. Vijana, mnanisikia sasa? Vijana hai. Tumesema, tumeshukuru panelists, mmepata information, and we believe you have so many questions. na pia mmeangalia opportunity pali wewe utatag along in the various programs tumekuwa sensitized on. I would want you to write those questions you have na mnipatilie at the end of this session. Tutaweza kuaddress here, and I believe from the ones that tutaform WhatsApp group that we can continue to engage. Sawa? So nitataka invite Mercy to just come and talk to us about the challenges ya watu wa Embu. Mel, there is a representative atakuja tuongeleshe mambo ya challenges. There is a person with disability just to take us through on the challenges, ndio bazu wetu wasikie, ndio wakitu addressia they can address this. And we also have a representative wa Kenya ni mimi champion atakuja atueleze. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Okay, my name is Mercy Kendi. I'm representing female youth for challenges that challenges that are affecting youth in Embu County. Okay, I know some of those challenges were mentioned here earlier, and I think I'm going to repeat some of them. But one of the challenges, the major challenges that are affecting youth, it is unemployment. Yes, majority of youth in Embu County, and it is not even Embu County. Unemployment, the rate of employment, it is very high. Most of the youth, they are not employed. Okay, they are skilled, but they cannot find employment. Okay, another one, it is lack of productive resources. My youth, the one is resources is to exploit for them to gain income. To say, for example, land and the capital. Munambia mayuthi wakalime. Lakini hawana hiyo mashamba. Let us not assume ati kila mtu akona piece of land ya kwenda kulima hizo tomatoes, ati watermelon. No, see what kila mtu akonayo. So, you find out they don't have those productive resources for them to start that agriculture. Another one, especially for female youth, ni GBV. You get that sisi mayuthi tunaoleka when we are not fully empowered. We are not empowered, maybe we are not getting any income. So, tukienda kule kwa ndoa zetu, unapata mayuthi wanachapa because at the end of the day, there is nothing you are bringing to the table.
1 minute.
So, okay. Oh, no. Okay. Another challenge that is affecting youth in Embu County, it is early and unwanted pregnancies, especially for female youth. Yes. You know, ukipata, tuseme umepata ball, na huku umeplania, responsibilities za mzazi zinakuja, hauna income, utaresi mtoto na nini? Si that a challenge? Utapata wapi do ya kuresi mtoto? Yeah, for female youth, unapata mtu, yes umepata, but hauna nini, the resources ama hauna nini ya kuresi mtoi. So, that is also one of the challenges that is affecting the female youth. There is also lack of information. Yeah, youth like easy to tunaita affirmative fund. You get that majority of the youth, they are not aware of Uwezo fund, youth fund. I want that information. Yes, those funds are there, yes, atukatai. But some of these youth, especially wale wa kutoka huko interior, hawajui hizi funds. So, at least kama there is a way that each and everyone anaweza fikiwa na information that these funds are there, at least for them to benefit, it would be better.
Thank you.
Another challenge, youth are not involved in policy making at the grassroots level. Utapata sisi tunatengenezewa ma policies, tunaletewa tu, tunaambiwa hii sasa ndio kunafaa kwenda hivi na hivi, but at the grassroots level sisi we are not involved. So it's our prayer and it's our request, youth to be involved in policy making at the grassroots level, so that watakuwa na control ya lives zao. Another challenge, it is corruption. Corruption, I guess, in affect my youth sana, especially when someone maybe is being employed, ama tuseme kwa hata kwa nini tu kwa askari ukitaka kukua recruited at 400,000, muyuthi yuko employed ama from a very humble background, atapata wapi hiyo pesa kulipa ndi achukuliwe? I know these things atutaki kuziongea, but they are there. They are there, unaambiwa ulipe amount fulani for you to secure a job, which a youth cannot be able to raise. Another one, for youth to be employed, hata hiyo mnasema ni entry level job, you find that unaitishwa CRB clearance, HELB clearance, unapata hizo ma clearance mob. Ukipata in a total for you to acquire those certificate, yes, unapata di pesa mingi sana.
Asante.
Kwa hivyo mu youth mwenye hana anything, maybe is from a very poor background ama from a very needy background, aweza acquire those certificate, so that it becomes a challenge. Kwa hivyo na ukipeleka kule kwa wale wako nayo, maybe for job application, wewe utachunjwa manake hauna hizo certificate.
Asante.
Yeah, I think those are most of the some of the challenges that affect youth.
Mpigieni makofi tafadhali.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Tusimame. Simameni. Yaani mumekunywa soda sasa mko relaxed. Mumekunywa soda sasa mko relaxed. Kabaridi kana wafinya. Simameni. Ati hamjapata? Simameni zinakam. Simameni kidogo. Simameni kidogo. Simameni kidogo. Someni kidogo. Someni kidogo. Someni, mumesimama? Kuna watu huko hawajasimama. Na wewe mwenye usonda ya maana. Asante. So we are progressing on well. Nataka tufanye exercise kidogo. Kidogo tu. Sawa? Kidogo. Soda lazima ifanye kazi. Unajua mwezi kunywa hivyo ya madam bure. Nafikiria ile kitu tofautisha ya nguvu sana. Mtakimbia? Sawa, kaeni chini sasa. Asante sana. Asante. Niko nataka muamke, umeanza kupiga kelele, mnalala. Now at this point nataka kumuita mwenye anawakilisha PWDs. Ni madam, ni mdosi wangu huyu. Mdosi wangu, she is Madam Jane. Madam in charge of Huduma Center Embu. Mike iko huku. Ndio hii. Yetu Madam Jane Deuri, tumpigeni makofi tafadhali.
Nipigeni makofi nifurahi. You know, my voice is way taller than my height. Actually, I can even speak without this. So, kindly give me all the attention. Habari zenu, our distinguished guests, all protocol observed. Habari zenu tena. Thank you so much for gracing the occasion. Tumefurahi sana kuwa katika hiki kikao. And my name is Jane Theuri. I'm an assistant county commissioner in charge of Embu Huduma Center. Nilikuwa ni MC na rafiki yangu Petipis, but I ended up giving him all the work because of all the movement. But equally, bado niko sawa kuwa hapa. Si mnasikia sauti yangu venye ni kubwa? It's actually way louder than my height, and that's why I'm here. So, regarding kuongea about the challenges that face persons with disabilities, I guess we actually face the same challenges, whether you have disabilities or no disability, but most of concern yetu watu wana disability, of course, ni accessibility. That is a song tumeimba enough times, accessibility in terms of infrastructure and all that. But wangu majorly what I would really encourage every one of you right now, kitu naweza taka sana mbadilishe when it comes to persons with disabilities is the attitude. The attitudinal value. That is our core challenge. Because kama mimi mnionavyo hivi, I'm not bragging or anything. But najua venye tumeambiwa kama katika hiki kikao, we are supposed to maximize on the opportunities that are available here. And for one, wacha nipeane my example. I remember last year, but one, there was an opportunity that I saw and grabbed it. There was kulikuwa na hii scholarship ya Commonwealth. I went ahead and applied for that scholarship, and I got a scholarship na nikaenda nikasoma. But kama mtu ana hiyo, like, if you're not aggressive enough to look for these opportunities, then utasaidikaje? Mimi siwezi, I can't just sit down and say that because I have a disability, I expect people to be sorry for me. That I don't like. I have confidence, najiamini sana, and I believe that we all have to go out there and look for those opportunities, because if you don't look for them, there's no way zitakupata kwa nyumba. And that's why I'm here, because even when I applied for this job, I just applied just like any other person na nikapata hiyo kazi, because when I went for that interview, ile confidence they saw in me and the knowledge and everything, I was okay. So it's not about favorism. So what I want to tell everyone here in this Kikao, tujiamini, whether you're a youth or not, maximize on grabbing the opportunities that are out there, and you'll get your turn. Na utafika penye unataka kufika. So what I'll just like to advise people hapa, mimi naambianga watu, the worst disability ever yenye watu wako nao is just the attitude. Now naomba you change your attitude towards persons with disabilities, because most people judge you on face value even before they know what you can offer. So that is the major challenge we have. Na nawasihi tafadhali, my youth na wazazi wenzetu, tafadhali we change our attitude and we'll be okay. Asanteni sana.
Tupigieni Madam Jane Teuri makofi tafadhali. Huyo ndio alikuwa MC. Kana Mike, wewe ni MC mwenzangu? Asante kana hiyo Mike. Now, in the meantime, tunasema we are still live on Facebook and on Twitter at Vision 2030. Na mujaingia by the way. Na tunasema hashtag ni gava iko wapi? Hashtag gava iko wapi? So unaenda pale Facebook, unatafuta Vision 2030. Tuko live, unashare na marafiki na pages zako, na pia pale Twitter handle pia tuko pale @Vision 2030. Vijana wa Embu tunafaa kuwa tunatrendisha hii kitu, bali inafaa kuwa trend. And in the meantime now I wanna welcome mwenye na wakilisha Kenya ni mimi champion. Mwenye na wakilisha Kenya ni mimi champion. Ni mko na majina mbili. Niko na Nancy Mbogwa na Josiah Gatambi. So sijui who is speaking on their behalf. Nancy Mbogwa? Good. Wow. Ni mwengeva. Allah. Sasa nyinyi ndio Kenya ni mimi? Sasa nyinyi ndio Kenya ni mimi? Nataka t-shirt ama hoodie. Nataka mnipe kitu moja hapa. T-shirt, hoodie ama mnipe mmoja wenu. Sijasema ni nani. Anaweza kuwa shamba boy.
So good afternoon. My name is Nancy Mbogwa. I am My name is Nancy Mbogwa. I am representing Embu County as the today my fellow delegates, and we have Josiah, we have Catherine, and we have Eunice. And Kenya ni Mimi is an organization, an initiative that was founded by Kas Nadia Abdallah, who is our chief guest today. Madam Kas, I am so honored that you are here with us, and representing Kenya ni Mimi is our job.
And I urge all the youths today to join Kenya ni Mimi and visit our website on kenyanimimi.com, and I'll give a chance to my delegate to talk more on Kenya ni Mimi.
All protocols observed, distinguished guest, my namesake, spokesperson, my name is Alpha Oguna. Hiyo ni jina ya street anyway. My name is Josiah Mwaniki Gatabi. My name is Josiah Mwaniki Gatabi. Come from Embu West, and I'm a delegate representing Kenya ni Mimi. Well, Kenya ni Mimi is an organization spearheaded by the CAS, that is Adia Ahmed Abdallah, and the Ministry of Youth, that is Innovations, ICT, and Youth Affairs. So Kenya ni Mimi is meant to promote the One Kenya agenda. That is the One Accord. That is who we are. That is. Then, now I will have some brief history about Kenya ni Mimi. It was launched in December 2020, date 7 and 8, at the Bomas of Kenya by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, that is Honorable Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and Joe Musheru, the CS Youth and ICT. That is, yes, he was in attendance now with our CAS and other young leaders in this nation. It has 50 ambassadors, 47 representing each county, and 3 ambassadors representing people with disabilities. And these ambassadors work along with delegates, that is, the delegates now hao ndo wako pale mashinani ambao they get the information from the ambassador, na ambassador anapata the information from the head office, that is kutoka kwa CAS, and the ministry at large. They work hand in hand with these delegates now to support the youths back there in our villages, in our homes, in our locations, in our sub-counties, the 5 of them. And here we have 2 from 2 different sub-counties. They will tell you what they do. And the aim and purpose of this Kenya ni Mimi is to empower youths to occupy leadership spaces in our country. That is, mnashinda, okay, as I was growing up, nimeishi kutuwazi kiongoza, na sasa tunasemaga wakati wa vijana ni sasa. It has actually come. This is our time. This is the time. Kenya ni Mimi is the platform for us youths. This is a platform for you, for your voice to be heard. This is our time to lead this country, and this is our time to take up leadership roles in the affairs of this country. Now, I will wind up because of time. We have 5 different pillars, and one is to opportunities among the youth. Pillar number 2 is innovation and talent development. Number 3 is health and well-being. Number 4, national cohesion. And number 5, environmental conservation. And all these, we work with the 3 main values, that is peace, love, and unity. And we have different programs. Please, for more information about Kenya ni Mimi, visit our website, www.kenyanimimi.com. Visit our Twitter page, that is Kenya ni Mimi campaign. Instagram, Kenya ni Mimi. Facebook, Kenya ni Mimi. WhatsApp, simuko na namba zetu. You will check us from there. Thank you so much, and God bless you. God bless Kenya.
Wapigieni makofi. Enda na hiyo microphone tu. Enda na hiyo microphone, nitakuita nayo. You are privileged. Now you are now a co-MC. Thank you. Naambiwa still now pale kwa State Department of Youth _KE. Hiyo ndio Twitter handle ya wale wazito ambao wametuleta hapa leo, na pia State Department of Youth pale Facebook. Tuko live pia. Si ndio? Kikao? Unaona mlidada? Kikao? Kikao? Wakilisha base? Asanteni sana. Thank you so much. Nataka kuita Kenya ni mimi wako na performance. Nimesikia hiyo performance wanaifanya na mabazu wote. That is why nilikuwa nataka kukilia hii uwanja for security purpose. So now Kenya ni mimi, uwanja ni yenu, mkuje mtuimbie. Na mnapokuja in the meantime hapa Embu pia Madam CS tuko na madam anaitwa Nadia na pia tuko na Abdalla. Nadia ni yule anaimbanga. Huyo ni hapa kwetu. Abdalla